cell count is in the normal range, I want to call your attention to the next levels here. RBC, hemoglobin, hematocrit. These are super important because remember I talked earlier about how your red blood cell count, this is what carries oxygen in your blood. Everything that you perceive about energy is nothing more than oxygen in your blood. If you told me, Gary, I had a lot of energy today, physiologically what you're saying is I had a lot of oxygen in my blood today. So if oxygen equals energy, which it does, if I'm going to raise your energy level, I need to raise your oxygen level. How do I do that? I improve the amount of red blood cells in the bloodstream and I improve the amount of hemoglobin in the bloodstream. How do you do that? You restore testosterone levels to normal, and that will increase the production of red blood cells. I have hardly seen, I don't know if I could say I've never seen it, but very rarely have I seen a client that had very low levels of testosterone, clinically low levels of testosterone that did not have clinically low levels of red blood cell, and also complained of fatigue, exhaustion, poor short-term memory, poor focus and concentration. If you want the latest research, Google American Journal of Urology, which is considered the Bible for male endocrine therapy. Just put into the Google search engine, American Journal of Urology space testosterone. Scroll down to section 13, and it will say clinical guidelines for testosterone therapy. Read from 13 to 21. You will be sold on male hormone therapy. They dispel all the myths in this journal. It's a peer-reviewed clinical journal. All the research is cited there. Don't take my word for it. That low testosterone is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, not the other way around. Testosterone does not increase your risk or hormone therapy does not increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. Hormone therapy does not increase your risk of developing prostate cancer or exacerbating prostate cancer. It can improve erectile dysfunction, anemia, bone mineral loss, mood. All of that research is right in there between sections 13 and 21. Journal of American Urology, space testosterone. That's one of the most revered journals in the world, which is why I send people there. If you're a physician and you disagree with that, go to that journal and all the research is cited. So you want your red blood cell count to be in the upper end of the normal range. And then you want to keep an eye on hemoglobin, which is the fluid in the red blood cell. You want that towards the upper end of the range. And you keep an eye on something called hematocrit. Hematocrit is a measure of your blood's viscosity. It tells me how close is your blood to water or how close is your blood to motor oil. As your hematocrit rises, your blood is thickening. Easiest way to reduce the viscosity of the blood without blood thinners is to do regular blood donations. We call it therapeutic phlebotomy. If you are taking testosterone therapy, your doctor should probably be recommending that you do regular blood donations. This for men is very healthy. Right? If you look at the incidence of cardiovascular disease between men and women, you'll see that men lead women by a huge margin until women stop menstruating. Then there's a parabolic hockey stick spike and they begin to approximate men in the incidence of cardiovascular disease. Why is that? Because they stop turning their blood over, right? So doing regular blood donations for men is very healthy, unless you have something going on.
I'm not doing that. Does it show that I'm not doing that? I should be doing that.
Yes.
What is it? What is regular?
Every 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, your hematocrit is 50.2, which is considered pretty thick. At 51, you're 0.8 of a point away from being having clinically thick blood.
Okay.
Right, so being clinically out of the range. What you will notice, you feel better right away.
Okay.
Lots of clinics will also, if you're one of those people that gets lightheaded from donating blood, you're not getting lightheaded from the loss of blood. You're getting lightheaded from the loss of pressure because the amount of pressure in the system is fixed. So if I pull a pint of fluid out, the pressure drops, you get lightheaded. So the way to solve that is to talk to your doctor about running an IV, put 500 milliliters of just thin, clean fluid in, then put the bag below the level of the heart, pull 480 to 500 milliliters of thick, old, tired blood out. The pressure will remain the same.
Okay.
The viscosity will change. So I see our clinical team do that a lot. Last thing I'll point out is at the bottom of your white blood cell count. This goes overlooked very often. These are in a specific order for a reason. neutrophils, basophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, all these fancy names for white blood cells. You should see these numbers like we do in you be highest at the top. The next number should be lower. The next number should be lower than that, lower than that, lower than that. And eventually they should come to a zero. That V-shaped pattern is a very important pattern. It says how well oriented your immune system is. We judge the strength of the immune system, amongst other things, by how it lines up and gets ready to fight. How many soldiers do I have on the field of battle waiting for the enemy to show up? Your front line of defense right here is your neutrophils. You have plenty of neutrophils. The numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller, and they go down to zero. As the numbers towards the bottom get elevated, it usually indicates some kind of chronic problem. Metals, mold, mycotoxin, viruses. Okay, that's when you want to make an inspection. You've got zeros at the bottom, that's a great sign. If you've got numbers at the bottom of your white blood cell count, talk to your doctor about digging into why you potentially have a chronic infection. You will find that lots of people that have viral infections are misdiagnosed with neurological conditions. It is very common for Parkinson's to be misdiagnosed when it can be a West Nile or a Lyme disease infection or another virus. It's well documented in the literature that the symptoms of a lot of neurological diseases parallel the symptoms of chronic viral conditions. So it's always good if you get diagnosed with something chronic to say, let's check for metals, mold, mycotoxins, and viruses. And let's just see if my body is not behaving properly because I have pathogenic invader. So I would always talk to your doctor before you accept any of those chronic diagnoses about looking into whether or not you have some underlying condition like viruses. Dude, overall, I got men your age that would kill to have these labs. Given your history that you disclosed to me on the podcast,
well, that makes me feel good.
You're doing really well, brother.
Thank you.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
Okay. Last thing we'll do is look at these. Look at the genetic testing results that you have.
Oh boy.
This may come as a shock to you, but you have the motherfucker gene. So next time somebody calls you one, say, as a matter of fact, I am. These genes that are yellow, okay? When we look at genetic reports, they come out all kinds of different ways, but we generally want to see our genes green, which means neither the mom or dad passed the mutation on to us, past that genetic predisposition. When they're yellow, it usually means that one parent gave us the gene mutation. When they're red, which you do not have, it means that both parents gave you the gene mutation. So in a nutshell, you have a genetic predisposition for three things. One, you have a genetic predisposition to be very poor at processing folic acid. You would be one of those people that would be really good to get folic acid out of your diet. This does not mean that you can't eat bread, pasta, cereal, grains. It means you have to eat the organic, non-fortified, non-enriched versions of those. Okay. So if you see fortified or enriched on the label, just get it out of the diet. This is the thing I warned a lot of parents about too. Just get fortified or enriched foods out of your kid's diet for 1 week. Watch what happens. You're going to be shocked at the behavioral changes. So what would this cause in you? Cause your intestinal motility to slow down. So intermittent gut issues that can't be explained by what you're eating. It also inhibits your ability to metabolize homocysteine, which is why your homocysteine is slightly risen. At the high end, you have a gene mutation called COMT, catechol-O-methyltransferase. This gene mutation makes it slow for you to break down catecholamines. You are absolutely one of those people, which probably 70% of your listeners, when your environment quiets, your mind wakes up. When you lay down and go to sleep at night, you have one of two types of sleep patterns. You either lay down tired and your mind keeps you awake and you have a hard time falling asleep, or you fall asleep. And once you wake up at night, that's it. You sort of lay there just ruminating, and you will think about the most innocuous nonsense. It will not be like a life-changing, earth-shattering thought. This is not like divorce, bankruptcy, financial ruin, change of business career. It's none of those big life-changing events that should keep you awake. It's little innocuous nonsense. It just runs through your head. The best way to quiet that is with magnesium at night, 5-methylfolate at night, and there's a supplement called neuromedulla complex. Excellent for quieting those squirrels and just allowing your brain to calm down at night.
Oh, good.
Well,
Perfect.
but dude, I'm telling you, I got 42, 43-year-old men that would kill to have these labs.
Man,
So,
that makes me feel good.
you're in,
Thank you.
yeah, you're in good
Thank you.
shape. And I hope that wasn't too much of a science lesson, because a lot of times they're, especially like in presentations, they're like, don't talk about the science. Well, they say don't talk about science, religion, or politics. And I think
We talked
pretty much
about all
we talk
three.
about science, religion, and politics.
Man. Well, Gary, we're wrapping up the interview here. I know you got a flight to catch.
Yeah, this is
Um,
amazing, man.
Man, I never go back and listen to my podcasts, and very few have I done that with, and I'll be listening to this probably several times just to remind myself to keep on the right track, and it's just so full of information. And,
Thank you.
And it was an honor to meet you and have you here, and I hope we remain friends.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely going to remain friends. I mean, it was a real honor for me to be here too, man. I super appreciate you inviting me, having me on your show, exposing me to your audience. My intention was to add some value today, so I hope they got value out of it. But
We definitely got plenty.
I want to come back to the new studio too, brother.
Well,
you
I'll
get that
invite
thing
you.
built in the woods, and we can fire off some weapons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We'll have you out. We'll blow some shit up, and
Yes.
and it'll be a good time. Should be about 6 months, but we'll definitely keep in touch. And
For sure.
I'd love to have you back. So
Thank you, Sean.
thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
You too.
Appreciate you.